Buckets. That's the name of my boat. Buckets.
Buckets. What we get.
Not the only transfer we got from Florida. Keith Stone, too. Remember that.
Everybody who watches his show on a regular basis knows my love of the stretch four.
You know, we all make mistakes. He might have made one going to
It's
Tallahassee.
mercy if y'all don't know. Dribble to the left, cross over to the right. Hurricane to the game, many buckets for the night. Matt with the pick and roll, Melissa with the give and go. This Shally-oo, pretty girl dunking in the hole. Check the scoreboard, this what we ball for. Peep the gameplay, they want an encore. Yeah, overtime for another round. It's buckets out the buckets, baby. You out of time. It's buckets. What it is, homie, it's buckets. Woo! We get buckets. Yeah, baby, buckets.
I have no shame.
I know. That's the problem.
You guys are awesome.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Buckets. I'm Matt. She's Melissa. He is Vish. Full squad tonight. Going to break down this UNC game. How we doing, Melissa?
Big game tomorrow for the women at 2 p.m. We're fired up for that. They're in Atlanta. Get that dub.
Well, one, we lost. Two, hopefully Vish is no longer contagious because I hung out with him the entire day while he was coughing up a storm. So if I'm out next week because I'm sick, we all know who to blame. Which way? This way. There we go. That way.
That was not my fault. The pointing wasn't. The COVID, if you get it, definitely would have been.
Matt, how are you?
I'm all right.
Do we ever reciprocate the how are yous after you intro the show?
No, but
No.
I'm glad someone did.
How are you, Matt? Did you have Chipotle today?
I did not. I did not have Chipotle today. I've cut back a little bit. I've only had it once in the past, I had it once after me and Vish did the show. When was that, Vish?
That was
Remember I told you?
Wednesday. Yeah, that was Wednesday.
Yeah, that was the last time I've had it in 2 weeks or so.
Oh, wow.
2-3 weeks, I think.
I mean,
Jackson, I feel your pain. My heart breaks as well.
You were in Costa Rica for one of those weeks. So,
Yeah,
it's
but
not that cold turkey.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway.
Jackson was also at the game today. Witnessed the
Yes, he was.
atrocities that occurred.
He was on the side of the court where apparently
Where the atrocities occurred.
Where lane violations are plenty.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded to get into
call
an
him
argument
20
with a guy on
seconds after it
Instagram.
happens too, apparently.
This guy on Instagram was like, "Oh, they reviewed who was out of bounds on, and they called the lane violation." I was like, first of all, they never reviewed it. Second of all, you can't review a lane violation. So this guy has no idea what he's talking
She made
about.
me get the rule book out and show the screenshots, and it's explicitly said you cannot use replay to review violations, with the exceptions in the list 2 clauses, and one is a shot clock violation, and the other one is under 2 minutes and out of bounds, like a violation out of bounds. That's it. It was black and white. You cannot review a lane violation. In fact, it explicitly says you cannot review judgment calls such as violations.
Yeah. Well,
because otherwise every play would be replayed. Did he stay in the lane for 3 seconds? Get the timer out.
Yeah, not to mention
it's not reviewable.
Not to mention too that Norchad got fouled on that inbound pass too.
So we can really see that everyone's saying he got fouled. We couldn't see that from our side. At
that point, we were in the double bonus, right? I mean, we were already in the double bonus, so it wouldn't have mattered if it was when he shot, but he definitely got fouled right as he caught the ball. Baycott definitely bear hugged him almost. Then they didn't call it. So
Yeah, we couldn't really see it. Happened so fast, and we were on the other side of the court, so we couldn't see that. I could see UNC step out of bounds multiple times at the
Oh
baseline.
my
and have them
God,
not call
that
it.
Yeah.
Vish was getting
That
a
I
little
could see.
angry.
Well, that was before Bad Text was like, "How was he not out of bounds?" Like he was out of bounds. I immediately turned. It was even before because they made a 3-pointer on that position. Was like he was standing up.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and
around
from
there, we had to get there.
you guys were right there, right? On
Yeah,
that part
that's
of
our
the
side of the
baseline.
court. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we're up, we're elevated, but we're on that side.
Yeah, but you
We're right
could
there.
see the line. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching it from TV and I saw that. So like I didn't have the best angle and you guys were right there. So it was ridiculous.
Can we quickly mention Vish's new hat?
It is a cool hat. I like the hat. It's a good purchase. Yeah.
3
From the
stripe.
team store.
Yeah. Got the shoes too. Got the gray shoes.
That me and Matt don't like.
Hey, they look.
I didn't say I didn't like the shoes, did I?
I thought you said you. Okay, I don't like them. I thought you said you didn't, but
I like them.
I'm glad was able to add some.
I like them. I wouldn't buy them, but I think they're solid.
By the way, shout out to the official team store for hosting us this morning. We did a baseball preview from the store. Anyway, let's I guess we should start from the beginning. When unlike the team, let's start from the beginning because they didn't. It was 15-4, 4 minutes into the game.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Nigel and Norchad really kept us in the first half, right?
I think they had all of the points except for like 7.
Yeah, they had 34.
Nigel had 18, Norchad had 16.
34 out of 41 points.
Yep. It was but I mean we started really bad.
We did, and we came back and actually had the lead at half, and then we were like, "Oh, Norchad has 0 fouls," and then he proceeded to get into foul trouble in the second half, like I totally said he would.
Oh my God! And well,
that technical foul was
what happened on the technical? I didn't really.
He definitely. I mean, like he deserved.
He said something to the ref.
He definitely said something to the ref. To be honest with you. I don't know what it was, but like, I mean, if he definitely said a couple things to them. You could see it in the replay. But man, oh my God, are we okay with talking about the second half? Like, can we go all over, or do you still want to talk
Whatever
about
you
want
to address?
However you want, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean that one where was it when he picked up his third on Baycott when Baycott had him sealed, right?
Yeah.
And he picked up the third. I'm like, dude, just let him have the fucking layup. It's 2 points. Because guess what? Nwoko subs in, and guess who scores 2 points right after that possession?
Two, and then 2 again, right in a row.
Yeah, and then another one. But he also got fouled on that too, so there was an opportunity for another point. So just back to back, and oh my God, Nwoko does not know how to guard the post at all. So it's just a massive drop off when Norchad isn't on the floor, and I mean he needs to have better awareness in those scenarios. Like it's 2 points versus him coming off the floor for a significant amount of time. It was like 4 or 5 minutes, right?
Well, which is another question entirely, right? Of dude, just let it ride. Like, what are we doing? You cannot have these stretches where you just allow the other team to kill you because you're being stubborn about fouls. Let him foul out. Like, I mean, there is no. It's the second half already. You can't afford those. I mean, we're jumping all over the place, but when he had Benz, Jakai, Wugga, Nwoko, and Norchad on the court, I'm just like, dude, like seriously, this is not a lineup that should ever be on the court. Like are you trolling? Like, what are we doing? Like, come on.
Our rotations have been, for lack of a better word, questionable.
And
with who we're just bringing random players off the bench now who haven't played. Like all of a sudden, Jakai's getting significant minutes.
And his explanation in the post game didn't make sense because he's talking about, well, he was the only backup guard. Like the only player injured was Keyshawn. So we've had Wugga injured this year. We've had Nigel injured this year. The only player that's played every game is Bensley. If he's the only backup guard, why has he not played at all? It doesn't even make any sense.
Well, and if it is like, obviously we haven't gotten good play from anyone outside of those 6 rotation guys,
And
I
great
mean,
play is
just say it. Like he's trying to
great
find
play.
someone.
Yeah, I mean, I would have preferred just like, look, we're not getting production. I tried something
Trying
else.
something different.
Because he played fine. It was like he didn't do anything. You know, he's good defensively, grabbed some rebounds, he scored.
He had the best offensive play from anyone I've seen outside of those top 6 guys.
Yeah, but he didn't score.
No, the layup, the drive that he had.
Oh, the drive. I thought you were talking about
but he did
when
drop
he dropped it and then broke the shot because I mean, that's the way the season's going. But no, but whether or not like so, there's two things, right? There's the how come Jakai is all of a sudden playing, and it was the same thing when we pulled Joe Bay in a couple of weeks ago, and he did reasonably well in that game against Pitt. He's regressed since then, but it's like if you thought this guy was good enough to play, why are you in the middle of ACC play all of a sudden playing them? Like this should have been worked in.
Let's be honest, and obviously this is my opinion, but let's be honest. Coach All is just trying to find something. He doesn't know what he's looking for. He's just trying to find something. We've had injuries. No one stayed healthy. Even our starters who are playing aren't playing well because they've been injured. And he's just looking for anything that can make a spark. It's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
It's called desperation.
Right. I think there's certainly an element of that. And okay. You don't have to put Nwoko and Jakai on the court at the same time ever. Ever.
We had Nwoko and Joe Bay in at the same time.
We had Nwoko playing center, Norchad playing power forward, and Jakai and Bensley and Wooga on the court at one point for a stretch of this game. I mean, what are you kidding me? This is a troll job? Is he having fun over there? Like, seriously, what is that?
We had 3 true freshmen on the floor at one point in a game.
That combination of players I just mentioned should never be on the court together.
I told you, it's called desperation.
It's called wasting several minutes out of a game and you keep losing close games. It's like, maybe Joe Bay shouldn't have played 19 fucking minutes when you lose a close game at the end. We keep micro-analyzing 3 or 4 plays at the end and not the 6 minutes in a row that like he decides to roll out there with a podunk lineup to eat minutes. Like, I get it. At some point, you just got to tell your starters, look, you got to get me 35 to 40 minutes and just run with it. We don't have depth. That's the reality of it. And he's not really adjusting. Like, if you get 2 fouls, you're staying on the court. Sorry. We cannot pull you out for like 7-8 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just you can't do it. And we go these long stretches where we get killed in games. I thought your computer was like broken. I was like, oh my God, I guess I'm heading over there to fix this thing now. Then the rain started. Like,
that's how we all feel right now. This is why I ate half a pint of Ben and Jerry's when I got home.
What flavor?
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
I like how I asked the exact same thing when she told me she was eating Ben and Jerry's.
There we go. Well, I gotta know.
Well, I mean,
that's my favorite, honestly.
I just question some of this. Look, I think 2 things can be true, right? We weren't a D team to begin with. We've had basically every starter has been injured. Bensley's the only of the 6 main players that has played every game. Right. So I think coming into the year, if you had said that, we'd be like, we're going to suck. So that's just a reality. Right.
I mean,
and to Melissa's point, I don't know if there is a solution, but I also don't know that he's handled it well. And in fact, I'll say he has not handled it well.
I mean, I will say, given our last game against Virginia, I was surprised we were able to keep it close for the most part. Obviously, UNC had that run at the beginning of the game. But
I wasn't. I mean, didn't have Matt's confidence, but I wasn't. We're a good team.
No, I was
we
surprised.
hang with teams.
Honestly, I was trying to speak it into existence, like during the run last year. Obviously, this is a different year, but
well, I mean, I thought we'd make it. I thought we'd at least be competitive, like we have been most of the time.
We lost by like 30 to Virginia.
Yeah, there's been some blowouts, but actually, it's not that happened 2 years ago to Virginia. We went to the Elite 8. Like we tend to like struggle there, but
that team had no depth either, but we didn't have injuries, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, but I also just think like I don't know that. Hey, let's try this, let's try that, and I think where he needs to show flexibility is in his stubbornness and how he handles foul trouble. Like he pulled Cleveland out of the game because he had 2 fouls. He was the only. We had 4 fouls total in the first half. Second half was always a different story. 2 were on Cleveland. He sits him for a big chunk. I'm like, dude, just fucking put him in there. Put him on Cormac Ryan's ass. He's not going to draw any fouls and leave him on the court. Like you cannot coach as if, as Matt said, there isn't a massive drop off after the starters. Massive. And Jakai did as well as you could have possibly hoped. And that was still the case though.
For someone that hasn't played a single game since what, like Stonehill or something.
It was still the case that, like, hey, you'd rather have Cleveland in there. And so I think it was just, I don't know. I don't know. It's just nothing's going our way this year. And it's just another example of this, because definitely the refs decided to get involved at halftime, and they came out, they executed their game plan well, and took us out of the game. Good defense, giving them the ball when it was off of them multiple times. Really good execution by the refs. Got the result they were looking for, so I'm gonna give it to them for that.
Yeah,
I just do. I mean there was one play where Norchad got away with a foul, but they threw a post-entry pass that just went straight out of bounds, and their bench got pissed because Norchad was holding Baycott, which is why he couldn't get to the ball. But then the guy underneath.
Is that the one where Nwoko was guarding him though?
No, it was Norchad, and it was on the it was kind of from the elbow. It was a post-entry pass. It was one where they actually gave us the ball, reset the clock, and all, and then they changed it. And they changed it because Norchad made a foul, but they didn't call it. The ball went out of bounds, and everyone, like, their bench was asking for a foul, and we were obviously heading on the court, and the ref that was there, we're gonna get to that lane violation bullshit in a minute, and then the ref that was on that part of the court was like, nope, it's definitely Miami's ball because no one touched it, and then everyone starts heading down the court. They announced Miami ball, and then
they were like, nope.
Well, then the other ref that's next to the North Carolina bench just changed it to out of bounds off of us, which.
But no, even the arena announcer said Miami ball, and then like a few seconds later, he was like, "Nope, UNC ball."
Even UNC was like, "That was not off of them. It was a foul." It's just like, just insanity. Like, and that happened multiple times where they would look at each other and just decide, "Hey, this should go North Carolina's way." And the last example of that was, I don't even know how to describe this shit because. They didn't call.
First of all, not only who freaking calls a lane violation in college, but also, like, why did it take 20 seconds?
Well, this is the thing, right? So to your point, lane violation stops the play. No one called lane up violation. I don't give a shit what they said afterwards. No one called a lane violation. After the ball clearly went off UNC, they gave UNC the ball anyway. And before they could go review it, they decided how are we going to keep the ball with UNC? Because if we go over there and look at that, it's not going to be UNC's ball. And then they just made it a lane violation. And it's unbelievably ridiculous officiating. You can't let a play continue and then call a lane violation after the play's over. That's that's a kill on the play.
I will say Wooga played that perfectly as far as making the first free throw and then throwing it off the front of the rim. Like, you couldn't execute that play any better to give us a chance. I don't know that there would have been enough time to get a 3 off of that. We're lucky it went out of bounds. We should have had the ball to inbound it with 2 seconds, but he did execute that pretty well.
Well, the whole thing was UNC screwed up multiple times, and the refs basically gave them the ball for no reason because, Wooka's driving in with 3 seconds up, down 5. Like, let him lay the ball in, dumbasses. It's because they hacked him that he got to the line, and that's why someone said, "Hey, we can make a free throw and like tap the ball out and actually shoot for the tie." If they just let him lay the ball in, the game's over. If he shoots a 3 and makes it, the game's over. Like, the only way is if we somehow get an extra possession.
Yeah.
And then they knock the ball out. Like, that's on them. Because actually, again, on that one, once it caromed off, you're right, Melissa, Wugga did a great job of missing that. Once the ball caromed off the way it did, UNC shouldn't go near that. That's going to be a 2-point rebound on the low block if Matthew Cleveland catches it clean, and we needed 3. Yeah. That ball is not going to get out to the 3-point line and into the bucket. UNC shouldn't be going near him. Like, and instead they went for the ball and knocked it out, and of course they got bailed out. Because, that was the way that went in that half.
My God.
But I felt like the game was over after they didn't call that foul on Baycott with Norchad, and he missed the ball down low because he was getting destroyed by people. But the momentum swayed when they called that tech on Norchad. Norchad needs to be more disciplined than that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Also, the ref could use discretion. Because they adjust. I mean, that was the point of the game where it was clear the officiating had switched. Because again, they didn't call shit in the first half on either team, and all of a sudden, they started to call bullshit on us. And so, if you recall the play that Norchad got teed up after, it wasn't even a play he was involved in. They called a foul on Wooga for essentially going straight up and getting elbowed in the chest. And so he was like, what? And then Norchad obviously, I guess, said something we couldn't really see from where we were sitting. But,
that was a
I mean,
4-point swing.
Yeah, but the ref should show a little latitude in those situations, given that they know at best they made a controversial foul call on the call. It feels like, whether this is fair or not, it feels like they're trying to influence the game. When you quick tee someone, first of all, Norchad, I mean, whatever he said was in an accent. I doubt the ref understood him. He's not from Miami. He's not going to pick that accent out clean. Unless he told him, like, fuck off or something that was black and white like that, which I can't imagine he did. So just saying, like, you don't need to quick tee someone in that situation. It's a tight game. You just made a ticky-tack call on one team. Like, let them blow off a little steam and don't try to influence the game. And he wanted to call that tech, which, of course, also in college is a personal foul. So, that double hurts. They got 4 points in that possession and a foul on Norchad.
And that was his second, and then he picked up a third shortly after that.
That was the third.
He went from 0 fouls at half to 3 within like the first 5 minutes of the second half.
The third was the one Matt called out where Baycott did a great job sealing him. And look, you're beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he didn't do it.
You're going to get subbed out if you pick that foul up. Like, you should know by now.
Well, you just shouldn't be picking that up anyway. Like, yeah. I mean, just look. Sometimes you get beat. You got beat. Let him finish. Live to fight another play. Like, you don't need to.
Agreed.
And then, I mean, Nwoko could not guard Baycott. I mean, that was the proverbial being taken to school there once he came in. Baycott,
I mean, it was obvious. Baycott had 2 points in the first half while Norchad was in the game most of the game. And then he stat pads when Nwoko was in.
Well, it wasn't just. I mean, he also scored a lot on Norchad. Like, I mean, he's a good player, right? So, I mean, he
scored a lot on Norchad after Norchad picked up fouls, and he had to be, soft.
He scored right at the beginning of the half too. I told you it's at halftime.
Okay, so 4 points.
They've shot 19. They've shot 19 at the half. They've shot 19 threes, and Baycott taking 3 shots. I'm like, and if I'm Hubert Davis, the first thing I'm doing is like throw the ball into Baycott every fucking possession. What are we doing? Like, we can say what we want about him being 47 years old and Cam McCormick's twin or whatever, but like, he's a legitimate post force. Norchad actually plays better against those types of centers, which is why it's always a good matchup. Because Norchad loves to muscle with people, and like that, the big type is actually better for him to play against. That's why he did well against Clemson as well. Like, he plays better against like legitimate bigs. So it was a good battle. But if I'm Hubert Davis, like, you asshole, shot 19 threes and Baycott took 3 shots. There's no fucking way we're not getting him the ball. And they came right out in the second half. And from our perspective, like, when Norchad doesn't have any fouls, we'll be able to hang in there. But when you start making technicals and wrapping up none of those weren't. I mean, the technical, we can argue whether it should have been given, but his fouls were obviously fouls. I mean, there was nothing dubious about them. And again, North Carolina is the number 3 team in the country, so it's not. We made just too many mistakes, and we're not going to overcome anything. Nigel getting hurt again.
In the presser, Nigel said it was his knee.
Yeah, and he said he'll play the next game. He's like, whatever it takes, I'm going to be out there, which, But I mean, he's a gamer. He's always, doesn't matter how bad he's playing, he's always fighting out there. Can't say that for the entire team, but for him, he's always, even like when we lost to NC State, to Syracuse, he was out there battling and keeping us in those games. Like, it's unfortunate. you know, we're I think a key player short of where we need to be. Because you saw that. I mean, look, Nigel was ridiculous. I mean, the second half, they're just like, we're going to trap him out at half court. And unfortunately, we couldn't make shots. Wooga was ice cold for
They
most
started
of the game.
doubling Nigel in the second half.
Yep. And Wooga was, you know, struggling with his shot because he was getting looks that once he started. I was really proud of the way he finished the game, though.
Yeah. I mean, the shots Wooga was taking, I wasn't mad at. I thought he was getting good looks, but he just couldn't get anything to drop.
Yeah, but I told Melissa before we made that last run, like if we're gonna get back in this game, it's gonna have to be Wooga that does it, and he did. He carried us back into that game, but we just needed one more shot, basically.
We should have had one more shot.
I will say that. I mean, what do you guys think of the? I mean, Coach L talked about this, but when we were down 3 and we kind of just dribbled the clock out, and Nigel just launched it from like the logo. That's a shot he takes and makes. What did you guys think of that possession, though?
I mean, it is a shot he takes and makes. I don't know if we maybe wanted to pass the ball around a little bit to try and get a better shot. I'm happy we got a shot off because in previous games we've turned the ball over or committed some dumb offensive foul. So I'm kind of 50-50 on it. It's not a bad shot for Nigel necessarily, but again, I'm glad we did get a shot off.
I was fine with the shot just because, I mean, he's injured. It's tough to create space. So he was playing a little bit off of him, obviously because of the distance. I think it would have been hard. I mean, if they could have tried to set like a ball screen, but they would have just doubled him anyways, whatnot. So I think it was. I
think the one thing I would have maybe done, I would have maybe gone to Wooga. He had been the only guy scoring down the stretch. He hit a 3, scored multiple times in the paint. I would have, and Nigel was not. He was just gutting the game out. Like I think, in a normal situation, if it's not season on the line against UNC, he's not playing at that point. He could barely move. I would have maybe, and I didn't like that we basically had, everyone was just standing around watching him dribble the ball. There wasn't a lot of movement happening. But again, we got a look that he's made many times. I just don't know that he had the health at that point to like rise up and knock that down. It's all 20/20 hindsight. I mean, when he's releasing the ball, you always expect it to go in. So you're kind of like, oh, he's going to hit this, and it didn't. We are definitely. I would say, because I'm I don't know, maybe it's a coping mechanism. I've been watching a lot of our games from last year. It is Wong. No disrespect to Jordan Miller, but the number of times, if you look at those tournament games or those key ACC games where whatever we needed, the ball goes to Zay.
In a tough spot, yeah.
Yeah, because he can make tough shots. He gets to the line. He can shoot threes. He's unguardable, essentially. And every time someone will make a run or we need a big – it was him. It's always him. Not that he's always one taking the shot because sometimes they'll trap, double, he gets to get but the ball was going through him. He was the money player. He was the ACC Player of the Year for a reason. And, Nigel is I really am a big fan of his. He can't, he still needs space to get a shot up. He's not going to rise up over you and shoot. It's just a little bit different dynamic.
He needs another creator next to him.
Right. And so it makes it a little bit more challenging.
Facts, Bethea is going to be able to do that next year for us as far as creating his own shot.
I mean, he's in high school right now, so it's got to
acclimate. But, I mean, he's going to come in and make a difference.
Well, I mean, right now he would probably be starting on this team. Even we don't have players. Chakai played a ton today, so yes. But I hate to put
a true freshman in that.
Yeah, just to be like you're going to come in and save this mess.
Well, I don't think he's going to save it. I'm not saying he's going to be the only guy. I mean, you know there's going to be a lot of movement in the offseason. We'll see who comes back. We'll see who leaves. But I think Bethea is going to make a difference for this team as far as he'll be one of the significant contributors on the team next year.
Well, I think all three of the freshmen will be in there. They're frankly light years ahead of the freshmen we've been forcing out there this year, with the exception of Keyshawn. But actually, on paper, coming into the year, they're all better than Keyshawn. Keyshawn obviously showed us a lot more than he was supposed to. So, yeah, no, there are three players that you're expecting to contribute heavily next year, if not starting. I think Bethea will start. I don't know about Schwartzer, but I think they'll all play a lot. Which clearly, I mean, if we're throwing Jobay and Nwoko in there and they're not even really ready yet, then clearly, much higher touted players will get playing time.
I mean, and this is something we're going to speculate a lot once the season ends. We're going to do a whole show on who should stay, who's going to go, who we want. There will be a lot of transfer portal talk like we did in this past offseason, and of course NBA grid. But what are, if any, are some good things that we could take away from this game? Besides the fact that we were able to hang in there with the number 3 team in the country after getting blown out by Virginia.
Yeah, but the problem I have with that perspective, which is not wrong, it's actually right? I mean, at some point you do have to say, hey, of course they're making shots, they're doing things with the number 3 team in the country, right? It's like they're not going to just roll over. But I guess I still haven't made that mental adjustment, which I probably should have.
That we're not one of the top teams this year.
To the fact that we suck. And I just haven't made that mental adjustment. So I still go in, like I said, I didn't expect to get blown out today. I expected to play with them because we always play with UNC. And I mean, I don't know. I've seen a lot of these players in the Final Four last year. I don't expect to get blown out by anyone. Of course, we've been blown out 3 times this year. So just because you don't expect it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I would say Nigel didn't shoot well against Virginia Tech, didn't make a shot against Virginia. It was good to see him get his shooting stroke back. That was good. I liked Norchad's aggression. So I thought he came in motivated and focused, and I just, and I do think even though Wooga struggled, like Melissa said, he played within his game. It wasn't taking bad shots or stupid shots. He took shots he has to take.
I also think he made a difference on the defensive end as well. Like his help defense. There was a few times where him and Bensley, when Norchad was up trying to double, where they were in the paint and saved us from UNC doing layup drills. But Wooga's 3-point shot's not falling. I need him to be more aggressive in the lane.
I think he did down the stretch. I would have liked him to get more touches, especially with Nigel hobbled.
And now you question, what is the health of this team? Like, who is actually healthy besides Bensley?
Well, I think
Norchad's healthy.
I think Wooga's okay. He's fine. I think it's more mental.
He was in a boot walking around campus this week.
Yeah, but I also see him like skying over 7-footers and grabbing rebounds, which he did over Baycott's head and got knocked down and got right back up. I think he's closer to 100% than he has been. Players wear boots precautionary all the time. I think he looks fine. I think Cleveland looks fine now at this point. The problem is it's been a revolving door. So, they just even for the starters, there's not a lot of court time together now.
Yeah.
No. Matt,
and then and then Keyshawn, who the fuck knows? He warmed up, looked perfectly healthy, and then didn't play. So I don't know what a coach said. He was just getting some blood flow to his ankle. I don't know what that means. I think we were all surprised he didn't play because he has jersey on too. Normally when a player's
he was dressed.
Normally when a player is not playing, they don't participate in warm-ups. They sometimes watch warm-ups. You'll see them standing there in street clothes. We get a press release like half hour before the game saying they're out.
Nothing.
None of that happened here. So maybe he tried to, warm up on it and it just didn't respond. I don't know, but I was shocked he wasn't playing the way he was moving in warm-ups.
Yeah, and especially with the game that was too, right?
Yeah, and we could have used him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, you got any takeaways from this game?
Nothing that we haven't said already. and from previous games. Oh no, it just sucks that this one didn't happen. It would have been big for even though the whatchamacallit, the tournament hope is very, very, I mean, before this game was bleak. It's just, I don't know, it just sucks. But it makes you
Kinda just like
appreciate the
for
past
morale.
2 seasons. Yeah.
Well, that's a question I have for the two of you. So it's another tight loss, right? And I know we got killed by UVA, but other than that, like in conference,
A lot of the games are 1 or 2 possession games where we're
yeah,
right there at the end and we can't finish.
between Syracuse, NC State, Wake Forest, and now this one. I mean, what kind of where do you think our headspace is going into Clemson on Wednesday? Because I mean, this almost sounds like a funeral the way we're all talking, and the players. I talked to Melissa about this before the game. Like the players I talked to in Charlotte at the tip-off, like that was Nigel and Norchad. They came back to finish what they came up 2 games short on last year. That is all gone. Like, so I don't know where they are mentally. I know Nigel and Norchad are competitors. They're going to keep, grinding as long as there's seconds left on the clock. The team has got to be dejected at this point. Like, I don't know how you get back up then and go to Clemson and win on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I mean, we can all speculate on what their morale is and what they're thinking, but one game at a time, I guess. I don't know. I don't think Coach L would allow that for the team just to get down on themselves. Keep playing. I don't know.
I mean, we've had awful
also
teams under Coach L. It's not like it hasn't happened.
What was that? Sorry.
We've had awful teams under Coach L. It's not like it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Didn't happen in the last 2 years. We've had teams quit and spiral out of control. And
they spoiled us the last 2 years.
I mean, you could say, Coach L quit last game. So, I mean.
You're not wrong because they were down, 12 at halftime versus Virginia? Look at what Coach Meyer's team did, down 17 at half. And they came back and won in overtime. Where's that fight? Why don't the men have that fight?
Well, I mean, I think they fought today.
They did.
Yeah.
But there's no consistency at all. I mean, the women also have depth on their team, so it's a little bit different too. I mean, but
yeah, again, I don't know that Coach L's managing whatever. Look, with those injuries, there's definitely a low ceiling on this team, but I also don't think he's managing it well.
No. I tell it's like desperation is just finding bench guys and saying like, all right, let's see what you can do.
Honestly, putting Bensley, Jakai, Wugga, and Nwoko and Norchad at the court at the same time feels like he's like trying to make fun of us. Honestly. But that's not even a lineup. Played that for several minutes in the second half of the biggest game of the year.
Yep.
Know, man.
We just cover the team. We're not part of it.
Well, at least for men's, we're not. We're very much team adjacent for the women, but we did see Margie and Kyla before the game. Shout out to them. They're in Atlanta now for the women's game tomorrow.
Yep. They got a big game coming up, trying to get to 500 in ACC play, which would be huge.
Which the men will try to do on Wednesday too, now that they've fallen below it.
So, do we want to get into Mount Trashmore after we rep our sponsor?
Well, before we do that, I have one other question. And this might be unanswerable.
Oh,
so
God.
we already blew out Clemson. We blew out Clemson the first time we played them. Obviously, we were fully healthy then. What do you think we're going to see? And one of the big things in that game was Norchad did not get in foul trouble. And PJ Hall actually fouled out, right? But a lot has happened since that game. Do you think we're going to try and play it similarly? I mean, obviously, we're assuming that question assumes Keyshawn plays, but we've fucked with the rotation so much since then. That was still when I have my two guys off the bench, Keyshawn and AJ Casey. That was when that statement was being made, and that was still quote unquote true. Those were his guys. So, I mean, what do you think we're going to see just rotation wise on Wednesday?
Chaos.
Let's see. What would chaos look like? Chris Watson,
Joe
resurrection.
and Jakai off the bench first.
We're gonna see a lineup with Jakayan, AJ Casey, Nwoko, and Norchad all together with someone else too.
I think Coach L is pretty much telling us to expect the unexpected. Joe Bay checked in that game a few weeks ago, whatever game that was, and we're like, holy shit, why is Joe Bay playing? And now Jakai checks in. Vish literally was like, oh shit, that's Jakai checking in tonight, like sitting at the media table. So
yeah, but it's not. I'll just say this, and again, we're dealing with a lot of injuries, and he's trying to find something. These are not things a serious basketball program does. You don't insert someone into a game on February 10th that has been on your team for several years and never played.
What are we supposed to do? Everybody's injured.
There are other guys on the bench that you thought were better like 2 days ago or the last time you played.
Watson?
Yes.
Watson hasn't played in a game in the last 3 or 4 games.
He played. Everyone played against Virginia. That doesn't count. But no, I thought he played. Didn't he play against VT? I feel like he got some minutes there. But my point is, we have over the course of ACC play gone from Casey and George are my two guys off the bench. Watson will play when we need him to all of a sudden Joe Bay playing 20 minutes after not having played, to Nwoko being the big, back to Casey being the big against Virginia Tech because Nwoko couldn't guard their center. Then it's Jakai now.
I'm not questioning you. I agree. I think it's insane, but I don't know. I told you it's just like Coach L trying to like
right. I guess
desperation,
my point is,
oh, maybe he can give me some good minutes because Watson wasn't playing well. I mean,
and I think actually Jakai did give him good minutes. My point is, this dude has been in the program for several years. You never once thought, you never thought this guy should be anywhere near the court in a big situation. And all of a sudden, the number 3 team in the country, get your ass in there. I'm not buying this. Oh, he's the guard, and all of a sudden Watson's the 3. And
well, I mean, what's Coach L gonna say? Oh, nothing else works, so we're just gonna try this. He's not gonna say that.
My point is,
he's just coming up with something.
My point is, when you talk about why we turn the ball over so much, why there's no consistency, it is shit like this that contributes to it.
Absolutely.
You're not wrong. I agree.
You can't just scatterbrain let's get a Ouija board out to figure out who to sub in, and then reverse engineer the rationale.
To your point, though, he threw Joe Bay to the fire first before he went to Jakai. Joe Bay came off the bench in other games earlier on in the season. A true freshman.
Joe Bay is the guy, because again, I attended a lot of the preseason press conferences and the thing in Atlanta. He was in Charlotte. I mean, he is the guy that Coach L said he's 1 to 2 years away from playing. He's really raw. And at first I thought he was talking about Keyshawn. I was like, I thought he was closer than that. Then I realized he was talking about Joe Bay. Because I was like, Keyshawn's a lot closer to playing than that.
And he threw Joe Bay in before he threw Jakai in, who's been with the program. He's now on his 3rd year.
Yeah, and again, actually, and this is Jakai actually played fine. He was good. We would not have gotten a better performance out of anyone on the bench. But all of this, my point is more on, it's not on the micro level of, did this work? Because I actually think it did in this game. Although I think
you're not questioning Jakai's playing, like what he did in game. You're questioning why all of a sudden we're many games through ACC play that all of a sudden Jakai's getting minutes.
Yeah, I'm questioning how unsettling it is to the entire bench when just random guy going in every game. How do you develop a bench? That's not the way to do it. Joe Bay was playing double-digit minutes every game, and after the first game, it's just been downhill to the point that he can't be on the court anymore, and I get that. You can rationalize these decisions on an individual basis, but on a high level, on a macro level, it is this guy's the best 6-man in the country, and the next week he's not playing anymore. And it's just like I don't understand it. And I did almost elbow Melissa off of the press area when he subbed Ja'Kai back in with like 3 minutes left to give Nigel an offense defense. I was like,
with one timeout left.
I think I turned to Melissa. I was like, Melissa, because you're not allowed to cheer or do anything in the press. I was like, Melissa, look who's on the court.
I mean, I cussed multiple times.
God.
I cussed multiple times. Like, people knew I was rooting for Miami. Like, sorry, I try to behave, but I can't control.
But when he came in with like 3 minutes left in the game, and I was just like, what's on the court?
But it's not even only that. You're gonna go offense, defense in a close game against the number 3 team in the country with one timeout left. He used his last timeout to get Nigel back in the game. What was the point?
Could have used the timeout at the end to drop a play.
Something. Yeah, exactly. Like it made absolutely. Yeah, no, but Vish got really pissed.
Because I think, well, and I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I definitely I said this in another game. I think when Joe Bay took a running hook shot at the end of the game, and I'm like, and Bensley was terrible in that game. I was like, no, I want Bensley in the game. You lose the game with the guys who've carried you that you trust to lose the game with. Like, you don't. Like, I would have rather Wooga gotten a shot at the end, but I'm always fine with Nigel taking a shot. If he misses, he misses. It's Nigel. That's who you want taking the shot. Without Keyshawn, we got 5 guys that you want on the court. I want those. I don't. If we lose, we lose. You die with your boots on, though, and you don't want.
Well, I think too. The other thing too is
4 steals, by the way, 4 steals.
If you're one of these guys on the bench too, and you're going through this and you don't even know if you're going to play a night, you're playing 20 minutes, you're not playing at all. It's really hard from a mental standpoint of building confidence. So when you do get in the game, you actually perform at a high level. And it's all about that consistency, right? I mean, I understand you're not going to play the same. Vish is dying. You're not going to play the same amount of time every night. Things happen. Norchad gets in foul trouble, other things happen. But if you don't have that consistency each game, that consistent rotation, it's, this is what happens.
Yeah. And there's been no consistency with the starters because people have been injured. So, I mean,
yeah, and that's
a clusterfuck.
Yeah. But no matter what, there should be an established order of who comes into the game, right? No matter what.
And it hasn't been working. So Coach L is kind of just being like, oh, let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. And
I think that leads to some of the inconsistency we're saying.
Yeah, because.
But again, I think we all just need to realize the answer is probably no solution within the current dynamic here.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's not.
You're not going to coach this team into a Final Four, not this one.
Final Four of the CBI?
I mean, I mean, we'll save this for the end of the season, but I don't. First of all, people need to understand, because I still get, look, I get it. We had high expectations for this team. I'm still getting questions of, what do we need to do to get in the tournament? I honestly don't know that 7-0.
We need a time machine.
Well, I don't know that 7-0 would do it.
No.
It would get us into a conversation as a bubble team. We are not even there yet. When people are saying NIT, we're not even one of the first 4 out, next 4 out, or any of that shit. We're not close.
We're not an NIT team right now.
We're not an NIT team either. And I don't know, again, this is probably an off-season conversation on who's going to actually stick around. I think we're very much, UNC didn't opted out of the postseason last year.
Yeah.
And I think we're probably headed that direction just because we're not going to have the players to do it. And mostly a lot of their players did come back, right? Baycott came back, Davis came back. They got some of their guys back, but it just wasn't. They just this needs to add. Some of these guys are going to move on. There's no. We're not building anything with this unit. Just let's end it. Let the ones that want to leave, and we'll go start over a little bit. And I think we're kind of headed that direction.
Yep.
And in terms of who leaves and who doesn't, I don't know.
That'll be great speculation as soon as the season ends.
Yep. But I think that's so. I mean, people are pejoratively saying, "Oh, we're an NIT team." First of all, we're not an NIT team right now, unfortunately. But also, even if we were to make the NIT, I don't think we'd play it.
We're not healthy. Why risk more injury?
Well, I mean, I also just don't. I think you're gonna have several guys looking at the portal, and we already don't have a lot of players.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, Coach L said we only have 11 scholarship players, and most teams have at least 13.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's someone that's responsible for managing that. So,
100%.
He has to take responsibility for some of this. And I mean, it's the question though is, do you take guys to fill out the back end of the roster that aren't good? Because look, when healthy, I know everyone's like, how come we didn't get another big? Look, you want Norchad to play 35 minutes a game. Who's going to come sit behind that? That's actually worth bringing in, right? No one. So, it's not. These are not easy problems to solve. We could simplify it down and say, well, you should fill that scholarship. You should get a bigger, get a big to back up Norchad, or that can maybe play next to him. You know what? Norchad is one of the best bigs in the country. He's going to eat most of the minutes. So
I'm not sure what I mean. We've on a few recruits. We have a top 5 recruiting class coming in next season.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it is what it is at this point. There's no help coming, and probably
someone did ask me though if the portal is going to open in the middle of the season, and I was like, you obviously don't follow college basketball.
I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see because we do have a core unit here that is really good. And I'm hopeful they'll stick around. But we'll see. Because they're the between Norchad, Nigel, and Wooka. If we can run them back in, I think that's a good base to build off of. It's kind of, I mean, I hate to just compare us to UNC. It's kind of what they did. They got RJ Davis and Baycott back, and that is a base from which we can plug gaps around them and be a really good team, and they are.
So David must have just tuned in and missed our last 10 minutes of conversation. David, if you rewind 10 minutes, we discussed all 3 of those things.
Honestly, even if we win the rest of our regular season games, probably
we're not making the NCAA tournament.
I mean, so what I was
unless we win the ACC tournament, which isn't going to happen.
I would say it's more realistic chance at this point than anything else.
I'm gonna be with Vish for a long time if we have a chance for that.
Well, I feel like we're gonna watch our season end on a Tuesday in DC or something. But anyway, yeah. So, and we're probably not going to.
The NIT is half the field, and it's really selective because of the smaller teams that get automatic bids from winning their regular season. So an NIT bid is very unlikely as well.
Yeah, and we're
also on the bubble to make the NIT, and we're not even there.
Yeah, I think people aren't realizing how far away we are from making it. There are 4 or 5 ACC teams that are also not going to make it that are ahead of us right now.
Yep.
We're not even close.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I mean, there is some version of not winning the ACC tournament that involves essentially winning out and then winning, making the semifinals of the ACC tournament or something. But
and we'd have to get a lot of help from other teams that we can't control at all.
I mean, again, it's not going to happen. But if you win, if you're looking at resume, if you win the rest of the regular season game, it ain't going to happen. That's 3 quad 1 wins. The reason I said semifinals, at least, is because we're not going to be in the ACC tournament. So, you'll probably have to go through a Duke or a North Carolina or something to get to the semifinals. So that's another one. It's going to take some shit like that.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, if you're sitting there with they have a winning record against the quad 1, that moves the needle. Because what we have to do is somehow have a resume that stands out as the net rating's not that high or anything, but no one can compete with this. And the one thing we can do is just because of the way our schedule is structured. We can rack up quality wins. But that's why today's loss was so damaging.
Yeah.
But that's like a pipe dream. We're not good enough to do that. I'd be shocked if we win on Wednesday. Clemson's playing really well now, too.
Hey, Toxic.
See if PJ Hall's mom yells at us again.
His mom's a bum.
Throwback to a simpler time.
Oh God, I hope we beat them so I can talk shit to PJ Hall's mom.
The things
I'm
we
totally
need to get
gonna
through the
do it.
season at this point.
Just please let me have this one.
Look, I mean, okay, so let's say realistically, the goal for the rest of the season is to get
Beat
as healthy as
Clemson
possible.
so I can. Oh,
I mean,
go ahead.
that's your near term. You know, we always talk about short, medium, and long term goals. Short term goals to beat Clemson so we can make fun of PJ Hall's mom. Medium term is get as healthy as possible and get into some kind of a rhythm going into the ACC tournament where you feel like you're playing well. Our schedule is very weird. We have like a week and a half off in the middle of March before the tournament. It's almost like a reset. Get your head right and then try to win X number of games in a row in Washington to make the tournament.
There's going to be a lot more Buckets episodes about the women in March. Matt, you're going to have to start watching some games.
Why isn't the women's tournament in DC? That would be better.
I wish it was because I'm off that weekend and I would totally come up, but it's in Greensboro.
Still doable. Anyway, but no, I think the season's, we're not going to put together a good enough at-large resume, so it's getting healthy, getting into some kind of rhythm, using the week and a half off we randomly have in the middle of the schedule to get in a rhythm and hope you can run it in the tournament. Stranger things have happened. Virginia Tech did that a few years ago.
Yeah, they were like the 7th seed too, right? In the ACC tournament.
Yeah, and again, we have, nothing. We have one of the best bigs in the conference. We have probably the best pure shooter. Everyone's just been banged up. That's why if we can get healthy.
And that's the answer to Toxic's question. What are we missing this year from last year? Health.
No, well, it's Isaiah Wong too. I know you said not to say
Wong, Wong and Miller. But I mean, if you don't want us to name players, you just say health.
It's Wong. It's Wong more so. He was such a calming influence.
Miami needs to beat Clemson so Matt can talk shit to PJ Hall.
And so Melissa
Twitter isn't ready.
Twitter's not ready.
Twitter's not ready.
And Melissa,
first up, the women need to beat Georgia Tech tomorrow.
Yes, 2 p.m. They're in Atlanta.
And if Z doesn't get into the freaking rotation sooner than 4 minutes left in this first half, I'm literally going to be so mad.
If you want, I can call coach and tell her that. We'll see what she says. Melissa's really pissed off that you saved Z's energy so she could play the entire second half in overtime.
We wouldn't have been down 17.
Well, it's a chicken or egg thing, right? So
blasphemous, I tell you, blasphemous. The women are 5-6 in the a 500 record.
The ACC is actually good for women's.
It's really, really good. Right now the women are slated as an 8 or a 9 seed with that record. So you run off a few wins here, you're like a 6 or 7. So you don't let their record fool you. Half of the ACC and the women's side is ranked. So the ACC is stacked. And I will keep saying this because people are hating on their record, not realizing how good the ACC is. And that we had a stretch where we played like 4 out of 5 ranked teams. Like the first half of our ACC schedule was absolutely ridiculous.
7 games left. Gotta put together a stronger record and
7 games left, and we only have 1 ranked opponent, and it's at home.
Yeah, should be able to put a much better resume in the last couple of years to avoid that 8-9 game.
Just saying.
And you know what? And then Cheyenne will go kick everyone's ass, and we'll see you in Cleveland. All right. So, Prize Picks.
Prize Picks. Am I doing this? I think Matt should do it.
I haven't been doing it.
All right, we're sponsored by PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com and sign up with a new account for the offer code 5 FIVE. And Buckets and 5 Reasons Sports will match, and PrizePicks will match up to your first $100 in deposit. Basically, you bet on stats for 2 to 6 players, bet the over under, and if you get them right, you win. Bet on more players, bet more money, make more money. Prizepicks.com, offer code 5 FIVE.
I feel like we all went downhill after Matt put money on Cleveland plus, what was it,
It's all Matt's fault.
over 20 on points, rebounds, steals,
So-
or whatever that against FSU.
So since we've
got
lost,
two.
since we lost tonight, we're doing a Mount Trashmore instead of a Mount Rushmore. And tonight's topic is the 4 worst ice cream flavors. We did best, so now we're gonna do worst. Kane's Cat Seat's gonna bet on the women to win the natty. I love it. So 4 worst ice cream flavors on your Mount Trashmore. Who wants to start? I will if you want me to.
Go ahead, Melissa.
My least favorite ice cream flavor of all time is mint chocolate chip. Mint ice cream is
I knew it was
absolutely
coming.
terrible. It
You
should
can all
not
kiss my
exist.
ass.
It is disgusting. And I want to say it first, one, because I hate it, but also because Vish decided that he wanted to change it up on his Mount Rushmore. And he's like, oh, mint chocolate chip. He doesn't even like mint chocolate chip. I call shenanigans. Mint chocolate chip is the worst ice cream flavor.
I'll take it from here, Melissa. I have that on my list as well. I don't know why I'd want to have something that is flavoring ice cream that you use to brush your teeth. Just disgusting.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty easy.
So I knew I was going to be attacked here. And I'm fine with
you're
it.
so okay. You
Don't
attack.
play the victim. Don't play
Yeah.
the victim.
when Melissa picked the topic or suggested the topic, because we all kind of just like spitball together, and
Well, it was like half an hour before the show, and
I was like,
didn't have the topic yet.
I was like, I know where this is going, so I expected to hear it.
A
was
coordinated
prepared for it.
attack
Yes, I
on
knew
your
it was
shitty
coming.
mint chip.
I knew it was coming, and I'm fine with it. You know, we all can't be right about everything. You two can collectively be wrong. If that makes you feel better, that's fine. It is a good palate cleansing ice cream. You eat it, you feel refreshed. You don't feel like full and gross. It is a good ice cream. That's why it's on the Mount Rushmore. And if you guys have a problem with that, that's fine. That's fine. You can be wrong. It's okay.
We
You
can
can
be
give me that
wrong,
love,
but we're
Melissa.
not. So
It's not going to do anything.
I would like to know, for those of you that are sticking around for our Mount Trashmore, how many of you in the chat actually enjoy mint
put a
chocolate
poll
chip or any
Put a
type
poll
of
on
mint
Twitter.
ice cream?
Put a poll on Twitter.
Oh, I'll put a group poll, but
Yeah, there you go.
I'll put it in buckets and then we can all retweet it.
Yeah.
But I want to know people that actually enjoy mint chocolate chip ice cream, because honestly, I think it's disgusting. But anyway, moving on to my second.
Wait. Do I not
Hey,
get
it's
that?
Vish.
I'm just canceled now?
Yeah.
Oh, did
yeah.
you name something?
No.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Wow.
I was questioning your choices and I just stopped paying attention.
You really got
So
mad.
what is
I
your
went for
first
some
what is your first least favorite ice cream?
pistachio. It's garbage. Don't like it. Don't want it.
Forgot about that one.
Don't eat it. It's a terrible flavor. And I will say,
Pistachio is on my list.
well, look at this. You know, we get into a fight and then we just, come back together. This is the Buckets family.
Pistachio is on my list.
I will, there we go. I will say there are some
Go.
like weird flavors and stuff that I like didn't consider, like bacon. I don't think pistachio rises.
No. I didn't go with like random flavors that people just randomly make. I went with like well-known flavors.
Because
Yeah,
there were
same.
there were some milkshakes from last year that might have made the list.
Yeah, right.
That brisket.
Since
Cool
Vish
stuff.
said pistachio and I just said it was on my list, I'll name that as my second. So mint chocolate chip and pistachio.
Okay. I actually have a list of 5, so I'm trying to cut my list down right now. I'll
Do
go
you
with
not count mint chocolate chip and just do the other
Huh?
4.
no.
Do you want not? Because she already
no,
named it.
I
You
wanna
just name
leave-
it?
No,
I
because
wanna-
it's so bad he wants to keep it on
I
his
want to
list.
leave mint chip in there.
It could be a Siamese
Um,
twin. You can have 5.
Well, that was the first one I wrote down, so it has to be here. It would be I cut another one.
Oh,
You can-
it was the only one I had on my list for a time until I started Googling.
Yeah, that was the easiest one, and then I
That
had to
was
think of the other ones.
easiest.
Next one, I'll go with rainbow sherbet.
See, I thought about that. Does sherbet count as ice
Is
cream?
it? Will you? Okay, fine. Yeah, because they say rainbow sherbet ice cream. don't
Yeah,
it?
sherbet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not, I can just go with another one.
No,
Okay,
sherbet
we can-
counts.
well, I'm checking. Falls in between sorbet and ice cream, but is distinctly
Okay,
different from
I'll
ice
go.
cream in flavor
Okay,
and
I'll go with
texture.
another one because I already know what's gonna happen. Vish is gonna
No, I think-
complain that I'm not
No,
following
no,
the game.
no.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
count it.
fine. Okay,
Plus,
so
Melissa
my
already
next
said it
one,
counts. So
my
you know
next
my
one
opinion's
will
better.
be.
I said it counts.
Okay.
And it's
so
actually
therefore it
sherbet's
counts.
actually
Yeah,
one of the
that's
ones
all-
I was considering as my
Yeah.
fourth.
Okay, then that's all that matters.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
Melissa
Once she said,
is
yeah,
our
once she
fearless
said it's
leader,
over.
so.
Yes, I'm not going
Overruled.
to.
I am the dictator. So Matt says mint and sherbet. Go Vish.
Cherry.
That's
Awful.
one I was debating having on my list too.
It's like I don't think they can do it correctly because it doesn't infuse right. It's very runny. Like the cherry part is gross. It's just no, absolutely not. Like you get these like it feels like the consistency of canned cherries shoved into ice cream. Like I don't get it. Like no one can do it right. I don't think it's doable. That's why we don't do cherry ice cream as a normal one. Should never have happened.
My third one is coffee.
My third one is coffee. I'll just go with you on that one.
Damn, dude. I actually like coffee ice cream.
I
I
can't
don't like
stand
coffee
it.
in general, so
I will
it's-
drink-
I like the
that's an
taste.
obvious choice.
I drink a shitload of coffee. I will not eat it as ice cream. I can't stand it as ice cream.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, so that's my
Because
third
you know, like
choice.
the mud pie or whatever that has like coffee flavor in it.
I hate it. And then they try to like elevate.
like
We're gonna
it.
put grounds in there. I'm like, you don't eat the grounds, man. What
Oh
the
yeah,
fuck you
no,
doing?
that's weird.
What's
That's
happening
weird.
here?
My next one.
Look at this. I'm getting attacked every which way. That was also on my Rushmore.
Oh, it was, yeah. So I have rainbow sherbet, mint chip. I'm gonna go with bubble gum. I think it's a stupid flavor.
That was definitely in consideration on my list.
Yeah, it's like the coloring. It's always like bright pink and purple. It's just
I mean, it's for kids, right?
nasty.
I mean,
yeah,
I
I
think that's-
know, but it's nasty
No,
to
but
look
I mean,
at.
it's not going to actually taste good.
Yeah, and it doesn't taste good.
So we all have three.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was trying to find the fourth one that wasn't sherbet because sherbet was going to be my fourth, but I can't find anything that I hate more than sherbet. So sherbet's going to be my fourth.
A particular
Okay.
type of sherbet or just any sherbet?
Sherbet in general.
Okay.
So my four are mint, pistachio, coffee, and sherbet.
Because Matt went specifically with rainbow sherbet.
Yeah.
What's
Is it
your
my
fourth,
last
Matt?
my fourth?
Yeah.
So I have cotton candy written down here as one. But I feel like it's kind of similar to the bubblegum one.
I was about to say those are overlapping.
Yeah.
Well, there's ice
So-
cream. There's places that don't do cotton candy appropriately. That's the problem.
Well, how do you do it appropriately?
Larry's Ice Cream in Coral Springs had the best cotton candy I've ever had in my entire life. No
What does it
place
even
ever
taste-
had good cotton
It's just
candy.
sugar though. It's like it's
It was so good though. They did it perfectly. They ruined cotton candy ice cream for me because I
Is
can't
it-
have it anywhere else. It's not
Is
as good.
this childhood nostalgia or is it actually that good?
Oh, I ate it well until my adulthood.
Is it
But
still
they
there?
changed owners like 5 years ago, so it's not the same anymore.
You hit your
Well-
30s and all of a sudden it didn't taste good, huh?
No, they changed the makeup of the ice cream.
Yeah.
So
well, I'm gonna have an honorable mention just because that one's kind of similar, I guess. And this isn't a particular flavor, but I hate whenever there's M&Ms inside of like ice cream. So like if you get like a McFlurry, like if you get a McFlurry with M&Ms in it, I'm sorry, but I think you're a psychopath.
Oreo
like the-
McFlurry is the best.
It's
Yeah.
the least like appetizing thing ever. You're gonna like chip a tooth eating it.
Well, it
It's
doesn't
just I don't
mix.
know.
It doesn't mix correctly because it's coated.
Yeah. It's just weird. I don't like it. Doesn't make sense to me. M&Ms get all hard. Don't like it.
I'd still eat it. Wouldn't be my go-to choice, but I'd eat it.
Nah.
It's M&M's and ice cream. What could go wrong? All right, my last was salted caramel.
Interesting choice.
I
I'm not a
don't
huge
want-
caramel fan, so I've probably never had that.
I'm not a huge salt and sweet in the same fucking thing fan. Like I don't need like the little salt crystals with the caramel and no. Doesn't work. Doesn't work at all.
I agree with you. I probably wouldn't be a fan of it either.
I was gonna so I was serious. Like I did know you guys were gonna come after me for the mint chocolate chips. So I considered putting like peanut butter banana or something on mine just to piss Melissa off, but I didn't do it. You know, I was an adult.
Wow. So you. Wow.
I like how I was ranting about mint chocolate chip, and Matt's like, "I'll take it from here. Let me continue."
Yes.
It's awful. It's disgusting.
It is terrible. If the Canes win the ACC tournament, I'll eat mint chocolate chip on air.
We will all eat mint chocolate chip together on air if that happens.
Don't
After we eat
volunteer,
our
Matt.
Panera.
No one's eating Panera. We're not doing that thing. Will kill you literally. But that's not even allegedly. That's literally. No,
Girls in North Dakota dip fries in milkshakes. What's wrong with that?
Anyway, Matt and I will go get mint chocolate chip ice cream walking out of the Verizon, or is it Capital One at this point? Capital One Center. After the Canes cut the nets down. How about that?
We'll do
It's
it.
the only way we're making the tournament. So
Matt will have been in California for 3 days already by the time that game is played because we're going to be nowhere near it. But we'll go ahead and commit to something that's never going to happen. So.
Oh, salt and sweets. Okay, got you, Toxic. Vish, how good was the Caesar salad at Titanic today?
It was solid. It was solid. I was true. Melissa was like, "Boy, you're eating a salad." I was like, "I told you guys." I was not joking. I gotta clean it up, man.
Vish is running a half marathon in 3 weeks.
Oh, good God! I can barely even breathe. How the fuck? We'll see. Should be a good view.
Vish, did I tell you I tried to run a mile the other day?
How'd it go?
And my
I
asthma.
said tried, so that's not great.
Well,
but...
my asthma's been really bad. Just did not go well.
Sorry, I'm yawning so much right now. I all of a sudden just got tired.
It's like early evening for you.
What type of vanilla are we talking about, though? French vanilla.
Homemade
There's too
Bluebell
many vanillas in the world.
Bluebell homemade vanilla made my Mount Rushmore. Because that shit's
Damn.
crack.
They don't even sell Bluebell here.
When
At least
that
I
shit
don't
came
think.
to Miami, I was like, you gotta be, it's on now. Because it wasn't always here. They expanded into Florida. I was like, now we got shit happening. Now it's happening. Well, the hood's up. What does that mean?
Just in my chill mode. I wasn't debuting one of my other hoodies that I got after a loss. We'll do that after a win.
We're never wearing the hoodies that we have that are matching.
We're gonna have to lower our expectations.
No
'cause
way,
2 games
dude.
in-
Only lose by 1 point.
Maybe
Or
win
2.
2 games in a row.
We said, look, 3 games is not a high bar. We're not doing that.
Yeah, it's got to be 3 games.
Yeah,
Or it'll be in the off season, one or the other.
Yeah, today she's like, I want to wear that hoodie. I'm like, tell them to go win some hoops games. Anyway, so women tomorrow, 2 p.m. Georgia Tech. Then
We're not doing a
7:00.
post game because it's Super Bowl Sunday.
Yep. And then men 7:00 Wednesday at Clemson.
There
Women
will be
host-
post game.
Yes, women host Syracuse on Thursday. Syracuse is ranked in the top 15. That's a big one. Next Saturday, the men host Georgia Tech. And next Sunday, the women host Florida State. Those are the upcoming games for the hoops programs. And your psycho co-host here did that from memory.
Now, which of those games am I working during?
All of them except for the Georgia Tech game, which we were attending. It's our last hurrah for this year.
That's it.
Actually, you're not working during Clemson, but it's in Clemson, so
Yeah, home games. Home games. So,
all right.
So things to take away from this podcast tonight. Mint chocolate chip ice cream is the worst ice cream in the world.
Trash.
And we're looking forward to the off season for the men, and looking forward to see what the women do in the tournament.
All right, I'll just say this because I'm not ending it that way. There's 7 games left. There's an ACT tournament left. We've got Nigel, Norchad, and Wooga. Go win some fucking games. That's all I'm gonna say. Never had a Shamrock Shake.
Disappointing.
What, the shake or that I haven't had it?
No, you haven't had it.
Melissa, have you had a Shamrock Shake?
I don't even know what that is.
Well, no, you're the president and CEO of the mint chip ice cream.
What's a
Fan
Shamrock
club.
Shake?
It's a mint. It's like a mint shake. They have it at McDonald's.
No.
I'll have to check it out. Sounds like it's St. Patrick's Day.
Yep.
I feel
know
like
what?
when all of us
That
are in
is
Miami over the summer, we should do like a fast food taste test or something. Or like do a order what the people in front of you order.
Toxic. Is there chocolate chips in it? I don't even remember. I had it once when I was a kid, but it's been a long time.
Despite the amount we talk about fast food on here, I don't actually eat it that much. So, well, you know what coincides around St. Patrick's, right? Us winning the ACC tournament, so we'll go get a Shamrock Shake right after.
A large one.
There's a 24-hour McDonald's right by Gallery Place, so we will go right in.
Yeah, but it's risky because will the ice cream machine be working?
Good question.
50-50.
What's
I'll
more
just
likely,
stop
the ice cream machine working or us winning the ACC tournament?
The ice cream machine working.
The ice cream machine working.
No hesitation. No hesitation.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Jeff is right. The crowd was great today. A lot of energy, even though there were quite a few UNC fans, but the Miami fans held their own. So,
well, let me get Matt's opinion on something that I offered to Melissa during the game. So,
oh God, what?
if you are in the student section in Miami and you're wearing North Carolina gear and you're cheering for North Carolina,
beat him up.
Well, wow, he jumped the gun. So I was like, I told Melissa, like,
yeah, get him the fuck out of there.
Hold on. There's more
I
to
said
this.
that we needed to obey like regular laws, but Vish says it should be okay to beat somebody up.
Wait, hold on. That was not even the full. Matt jumped the gun so quickly, I didn't even get to the reason I felt. So I actually said, you know what? If you want to do that, that's annoying, but tolerable. But then, dude was on the screen doing the U down. And I'm then you can kick his ass. And that was what I said. I was like, once you do that, you're in the student section wearing North Carolina shit and you're doing U down, you should be able to legally be allowed to jump and beat the show. That was
100%.
That was my take. But then you went ahead and just said the mere act of dressing in clothes.
There's red on that jersey, on that baby blue, whatever the fuck blue color it is. Yeah, no, definitely.
I'm doing the mint chocolate chip poll.
What are the choices?
Do you like mint chocolate chip ice cream? Yes, I love it. No, it's disgusting. Those are the choices. And I will go and retweet it from. Make sure you guys retweet it from your accounts.
Yeah, we got it. Let's retweet it from buckets. Where's this thing? We shall retweet it.
There you go.
Retweeted.
Make sure you vote, Matt.
I already did.
All right.
I got into the Kate 5 Reasons Kate's account before you did, Melissa. That's 2.
Did you, asshole?
You were going over there, weren't you? I just beat you
Well,
to
no,
it.
I didn't even think about it. Vish voted twice. That's illegal.
It's okay. I have other Twitter accounts. I can balance it.
I had to get in there. I was like, wait a second. I have access to another account now. Actually,
Don't worry, I
technically,
got you.
access to the F1
I got
account
you,
too,
Melissa.
How many accounts do you have, Matt?
See, I think that's a little different because I used a account we share, which is why it was funny. But whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna get killed in that poll. I know it anyway. It's not gonna make a difference. But I thought it was funny
We'll
that we
see.
both had. I just assumed Melissa was like heading right over there to vote too.
No, I went to my account to retweet it first.
And I was like, let me get over there before she does. And it hadn't voted on it yet. I was like, that is.
Jeff, I
slow.
can't hate on Roy Williams. I respect him as a coach.
I will say, as intolerable as the officiating is when you play North Carolina, in terms of blue blood hoops programs, they're probably one of the more tolerable ones.
We should do a Mount Trashmore of Blue Bloods next.
Yeah, they
next
wouldn't.
show.
They wouldn't be on my list. Like they're. I mean, we talked about this during the game, but they were like one of the first big programs to integrate, like before the country was integrated.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of good in North Carolina's history. That's like
Wait, are we talking about blue bloods for basketball?
basketball, yeah.
Oh yeah, Kentucky's definitely on the trash.
Yeah, Adolf.
No,
Trash
we'll
list.
stop because this could be another Trashmore for another time.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So yeah, just wait
I can
till
only come up
Wednesday.
with so many ideas.
Dude.
Just wait till Wednesday. Wait till Wednesday. So I muted Matt before he gave his whole Mount Trashmore and ruined the show. We're gonna lose on Wednesday, and then you can.
Why would you mute him for?
He was
That's like
saying
almost
his
as bad
Mount
as kicking
Trashmore.
him out of the stream.
I didn't kick him out of the stream. I moved him
I have
backstage.
power.
That's kicking him out of the stream. I still
No.
stand firm on this topic.
He left the stream.
Because you kicked him out.
No, you
I
kicked
did
me
nothing
out.
with the sword.
You kicked him.
Oh my
Moving
God,
him
you
backstage
try
where
to
nobody
act
can
so
see him is kicking
innocent.
him out of the stream because he's no longer live.
No, because there's a different button. There's remove from stage.
No.
is what I did. And
Putting
there's
him
kick.
backstage is kicking him out of the live stream.
Look, man.
It's kicking him
He-
out. You abuse your
was-
power. It's an abuse of power. I stand with Matt.
This is why Melissa leads us.
I mean, if anyone's abusing power
She's a
over
fair
here,
and just leader.
I am a very I am, except when we talk about
she
Popeyes.
is
and
most
Chick-fil-A.
definitely not fair or just. I don't know where the hell you're getting that from.
Well,
More fair
here's the
than
thing: is
you.
besides the Popeyes Chick-fil-A debate, I feel like me and Matt agree pretty much on everything else. Although, Matt, do you want to tell Vish what I was talking, what I said in our text message the other night
What was
when we
it?
were discussing Chipotle?
Oh, yeah,
Should we
that
discuss this?
that was insane.
I think. Do you
Oh my
want to tell him
God.
what I said?
I don't. I'm trying to
What
remember
happened?
word for word. Melissa basically told me that
Pre-reflux.
pre-reflex that she would put Chipotle over Chick-fil-A.
Wow.
Facts.
I mean, this makes
Look at
sense.
that.
Why?
I ate Chipotle like 2 or 3 times a week, like back when I was in grad school.
Well, that explains where the reflux came from, too.
Matt was in shock, but I love salsa, Tex-Mex, Mexican food. It it doesn't love me anymore. So
But you went to Papacitos, though.
I did go to Papacitos and I paid for it later because I got the chicken enchiladas and there was definitely tomatoes in them.
Wow, tomatoes
Uh-oh.
doesn't, huh?
Wait,
But
so you're not good with Italian food then, right?
I get Alfredo sauce.
It's tough.
I agree with how much I hate the ACC currently. I tweeted about it earlier, so
Yeah, to answer your questions, we're not and we can't.
Yep.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
Man, Imagine joining the Big Ten and going under 500 in conference play and making the tournament.
Shit, Big 12, we'd be in right now. With the we beat 2 Big 12 teams. That's what we go 2-15 in that conference. That's enough to get in, right? So got that UCF and Kansas State win. That's enough. Two Big 12 wins usually gets it done. So
Vish, when are we going to Culver's?
whatever.
You
I'm
guys
back.
should wait for me.
I mean, you're never showing up. And when you show up, are you really gonna drive with us to Coral Springs?
Yeah.
Matt's showing up. He's coming down in the summer.
No,
Yeah.
it's girl canceled. Remember they switched.
No, I'm still coming.
He's still coming.
It's just gonna be me.
Did you not pay attention to what he was saying?
He never pays attention to me.
Jesus Christ, man.
All right, I'm not even getting. This is gang up on me now.
Oh, what are you gonna do? Just mute me again?
He'll kick you out of the stream.
Kick me out of the stream?
So anyway,
You're such an asshole, Vish.
Guess what? I
asked me
unmuted
to.
myself.
Yeah, I know you can't. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm in town after I'm gone for 4 days in the middle of the week next week, and then I'm back for another 3 weeks.
We'll
so
figure it out.
we shall. And my March has opened up nicely. So after we lose in the ACC tournament, I got nothing to do. So
Matt, is there any chance your mom can make more of that fudge when you come to visit us?
I can ask her. The fudge is
really
easier
good.
to make, so I can.
It was
ask her for sure.
it was really
Which one, the
tasty.
Snickers one or the Oreo
Like
one?
it was half and half colored one.
Oh yeah, that was a Snicker type
Yeah.
one. It was with
That
caramel.
was, and I don't even like caramel usually, but that was really good.
wait. You pronounce it caramel?
He just
Caramel?
said, which is why I said caramel because I was correcting
Oh,
him.
Caramel.
Yeah, I
That's
call it
definitely the right
caramel.
way.
Caramel. That's like the
Caramel.
fancy California way of saying it.
It's not really fancy, is it?
I don't know.
So wait, if it's something that's spelled
Max just said Culver's last night. Look at that.
if something is spelled Carmel, how do you pronounce that?
Carmel.
Where are the extra when you say so
stupid.
So how come Caramel is caramel? What about the extra A?
The A is silent, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know what. Vish, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, man. Go eat one of your painted patties from BK.
Yeah, I'm off the BK.
What?
Fish was having some serious GI issues last night after
That's
he
what.
won.
Well, I mean,
Just
that's
throwing
what,
it out there.
I had a salad at Titanic today.
that's what happens when you microwave burgers, man.
Oh yes, because they're cooking it fresh at every other fast food.
The frozen flame broiled.
Hey, they are
waffles.
in and out. You can watch them.
Oh, good. I'm sure it makes that big of a difference.
It does.
I think I would have had the same reaction eating in and out. I am limiting the fast food intake.
It's disappointing to hear. Oh, did you guys see Taco Bell? Taco Bell had a release of all the new food they're having this year. It was what Apple does with all their new products. It was like that.
Say, what the hell is the product launch?
Yeah, it was crazy.
No, we did not see, Matt. We don't launch for such things.
Disappointing.
Well, Melissa would have been blown away when they had a chicken dish.
What is she writing? Mint chip ice cream sucks. Mint chip is gross. Oh, I looked at that really fast.
Like I said, I'm expecting to be attacked. It's fine. Just gang up on me.
Oh my god.
How bad is the poll?
Oh, let's see.
19 votes. It's 57.9% no, it's disgusting is winning currently.
Okay, so someone other than me voted yes. I'll take it. It's two of
Toxic
those
voted
votes.
yes, he said.
All right, there we go. 3 people is good. It's more than 3 even. That's why I like the BK burger. It's the mayo. Nope. We still got Nigel, Norchad, and Wooga go win games. I'm going to keep saying that until there's no more games left to play. They're going to toss the ball up, go in the game. Game starts 0-0.
All right. Are we done?
Are we?
Yep. Hit it, Melissa. Go.
Cue the Sox outro.
Don't cry.
We getting buckets.
Keep it chill.
Yeah, baby.
Wear good socks.
Buckets.